heard by other people. Go ahead, anybody else? Okay, I've got Anna Harter, and I suspect it's Alchemy 2. Stand by. Anna Harter, go ahead, David.
Morning, Patricia. I sent you a message, but I'll give you my position. 2620 south, 178, 47 east, 204 miles to North Minerva, all good or whatever.
Yeah, all good, and your message has just come in, so that's good. Oh, no, it's not. That wasn't yours. Yours hasn't. Oh, yes, it has come in. 6:39. So, yes, it is here. Forgot about that one. Thank you very much for that, David, and good morning to Amana if they're listening. They're anchored at Niafu. So everyone is sort of homing in on where they're going, which is good, except for a few people that are still on the way. Alchemy 2, go ahead.
Good morning, Patricia, David. Our position, 27 degrees, 10 south, 179 degrees, 34 west. Our wind speed, 18 knots to southeast. We've got a good slope speed, about 7.5, 8 knots, and still heading for Minerva.
Okay, and that would be North Minerva, is it?
Roger that. Yeah, we're about 210 miles to Minerva.
Okay, very, very nice radio conditions today, and good clear signal from you. So 210 to go to Minerva. Oh, you are ripping along. I've forgotten. I'm just looking up what Alchemy 2 is. So, yep, a really good speed for you guys. Over. Let's see what I can get this thing working. Alchemy 2. Oh, it is a good speed. A 43-foot slope. So, you are moving really well. You must be cracking the whip there. All right, and good morning to Sally. Okay, is there actually what I might do is say good morning to everybody. This is Gulf Harbour Radio ZMH 286, Patricia and David with you on this 21st of May. Actually, David's not with me. He's just about to leave the room for something, probably his coffee. We have another grey day here. Oh, we're getting sick of grey days. But not much wind, 16 degrees, so those of you who are up at Minerva are probably experiencing nicer temperatures. 1024.47, slightly rising here, and it's about 3 knots of southwest wind, nothing much at all, but just gloomy. It's not very pleasant at all. So that's our weather here. Just heard from local talent, Lupan, Anna Harter, and Alchemy 2. And good morning to all of you who are on the anchor at Minerva and also South Minerva. So we would like to keep the reports coming from South Minerva about that buoy that's sitting there, quite a landmark now. But we are concerned, of course, when the storm hits Minerva, what will happen to it. This is South Minerva, folks. So if you could keep the reports coming, particularly if it moves. Thank you very much. And Mezzaluna has just reported in Savu spotty rain in the city 1012. Looks like it would be more than spotty rain in Savu. Looks quite a blob over the top of it. So make the most of it while you've got it. Just a quick bit of news until I do another call to see if anybody wants a report. I hope North Star are copying us this morning. They're on their way to Minerva. Life expectancy we talked about last week. It was a report in the Herald, and I told David that he had now exceeded his life expectancy, but they issued an apology in the paper. For men, it is 80.5 years. So he's got another, 6 summers. He always measures his lifespan in summers. So we'll have to make use of those 6 summers. 6 doesn't sound very much, does it? But anyway, you can always exceed your life expectancy. So, yeah, it's 84 for women, so we last a bit longer, which we need to look after them. India has just had an election. 900 million people went to the polls. Isn't that amazing? Trying to organise something like that. And it looks like Prime Minister Modi and his party have been re-elected. It won't be finalised until Thursday. It took several weeks for this to complete. 1 million polling stations, absolutely astounding logistics problem, but there you have it. In the States, in Atlanta actually, there is a university, they call them colleges over there for some reason, Morehouse College. It's a mostly black university in Atlanta, and the graduating students got an absolutely amazing surprise at their graduation ceremony this weekend. At their commencement speaker, and I forgot to ask David, why do you call a speaker a commencement speaker? You can tell me about that. But anyway, the commencement speaker, this is the person that sort of gives them a rah-rah, good luck, get going type thing. He was a billionaire investor, the richest black person in America. And he announced that he wouldn't be in
They say crappy?
Yeah, they did say
CNN.
crappy in CNN, yes. I thought, wow, another C word. All right. Hopefully none of you out there have a Huawei phone, as Google has suspended access to updates of its Android operating system. And also chip makers such as Intel and Qualcomm have also ceased supplying chips to Huawei. This all complies with the presidential order putting Huawei on the blacklist, and nobody in the US is allowed to trade with them. And sort of related to that, there is a forced technology transfer I didn't know about, but evidently companies have to hand over technology if they want to do business in China. And the European Chamber of Commerce says that this has doubled. They thought that they had made demands for that to stop, because it certainly doesn't comply with requirements for how you do business internationally, but evidently it hasn't, and so companies still have to hand over their technology.
You gotta be kidding me.
Hang on a minute. I've just had to look at streaming. Thank you for the information, folks. You've just missed the news. There was another interesting...
Go over that technology thing.
Well, the technology transfer. If you're a company and you've got something that you want to sell in China, then you have to give the Chinese authorities the technology that makes your product before you can sell your product in China.
Blatant stealing.
That is stealing, yes, but they're getting away with it because, of course, it's a fairly big incentive to be able to sell your product in China. You can always say no.
Yeah, short term.
Yeah. So there was an interesting little clip in the paper yesterday about cocaine use in Britain, which has doubled in 7 years. And the way they're measuring this is they're looking at the wastewater. For example, in London, they look at the sewage and analyse how much cocaine is in the sewage. An awful lot of wasted. 200,000 doses of the drug each day, which is worth about £700,000, are being used and flushed down the sewage system. Absolutely amazing. The amount in the water has risen from 392 milligrams per thousand of the population in 2011 to 900. So it's 3 times what it was. Antwerp, Zurich, Amsterdam are all very, very high uses. Oh, thank you. We're having a problem with streaming by the look of it. Evidently, it says it's all right. Goodness gracious me. I'm going to have a look at this because we've got some quite important stuff for David to cover this morning. I'm going to have a quick look at it at the moment, see if there's any interesting messages in. I don't think there has been any coming just recently. North Star, as I mentioned, their report came in and they should be hearing us, 29, 30, 23, 177 East. So they're steaming along quite fast. I didn't say what their speed was, but there you have it. All right, I'm going to...
And if you're able to get it when you have access to the internet, you'll see how useful it is because you could verify what your models are talking about. This microwave satellite will give absolute, accurate conditions. And is it working?
It is now.
No, apparently it is working. So with that, I'll give it back to
Now, I want to know why you call it commencement. He doesn't know. So if anybody does know why they call it commencement, other than the guess that we've had that it is the commencement of their working life, I suppose, that would be good. Big Mamas, thank you from Whistler. 10 knots east-southeast, 100% cloud cover, and 1015.3 on the bar. All right. Is there anybody wanting to tell us where you are or anything else? Please call now. Echo, echo. And I've got you on the first and second echo. Go ahead.
Romeo, good morning. Good morning, everyone out there. Our position is 228, 28 degrees, 48 minutes south, 164.00 east. We'd like to get you, but we haven't been able to contact before because of we're too close. We're halfway from Auckland to Bundaberg.
Well, that's an unusual direction. Very strong signal this morning, so you're out of the skip now, halfway Auckland to Bundaberg. Okay. Oh, well, what are your conditions? Over.
Conditions are fine. About 1 metre seas. We have no wind, virtually no wind, 3 to 3 knots of wind. We have a coupling come off the motor as well, so we're going to have to sail all the way over.
Ooh, coupling come off the motor. That is no fun at all to deal with. I'll just pass the microphone to David because he won't cover your area in the main roundup because we didn't know of anybody going to Bundaberg. All right. And how many on board? And with your current problem, when do you estimate reaching Bundaberg? Over.
Yeah, Romeo, we have 3 POBs. We should be in Bundaberg Monday, Tuesday next week. Over.
Okay, got that, and you've got an excellent radio, so I presume that you've got other ways of charging batteries. Just see if David's got anything to add.
Get with the coast. Looking at Monday, it's a little bit stronger, and it also tends to back to the southwest, so that may help. So that's the western South Pacific, and the people that are in the eastern half, I could tell you. Over.
What's the sweep for the westerlies? Yeah, he's just having a look. And
light in the beginning, 10 to 15.
Light in the beginning, 10 to 15. And
then it starts to pick up as it backs.
Picks up as it backs. So just keep in touch with us. Over.
Yeah, Romeo, thanks very much. That's all fine. Yeah, off the back of the gearbox.
Yeah, well, just as well it's nice and calm. Hopefully working down below is better when it's calm, that's for sure. Conjures up memories of working down below when it's not so calm. There was somebody in behind Echo. Who was that? I'm going to need a relay on that boat. It's very light with me. Who is it? Oh, it's Ganesh. I should have guessed. And Ganesh is probably in Noumea. Fatty, just let Andrew know where you are. Over. All right, thank you very much. Actually, I almost worked that out from Fatty, so that was good. They've arrived, and Patrick I can't remember because I keep thinking of Eagle Dancer, but he's arriving later tonight in Fiji on the western side too.
Fiji.
So, yep, Patrick. And Sun Dreamer has arrived. Thank you, Alan and Peter, on non-stop. And they're on the buoy outside Bunda. And 6 Isles of Waikawa is due in dinner hour today. So we've got some good information flowing here. Everyone doing quite well. It's amazing what people can do when they put the pedal to the metal, isn't it? All right, well, we seem to have streaming working, although I've got a red mark again. It's a real problem today. It's on again, off again. But anyway, here's David.
Hang on, don't put my glasses on.
Oh, he's switching glasses.
Helps to see. Anyway, good morning. Well, the cyclonic flow that we've had over New Zealand is finally starting to become anti-cyclonic. So from now through Friday, a couple more days, we're going to be looking at cloudy periods for sure. It's cloudy right now, and some southwest breezes, particularly up there in the Opua area. Quite cool at night, 8 degrees or so, but at least we're not going to be getting that those showers, those on and off showers that were really quite annoying. Regarding the synoptic chart, our Tasman high still strong, 1030 millibar, ridging northeast toward French Polynesia. Now, the forecast for tropical depression 12F or 95, 95P, whichever one you want to use. Last night that was centered near 12.5 south and 177.3 east, and that puts it just southeast of Rotuma. The track was basically to the south, but it's very difficult to tell the track of this because it's hard to find the center to see which way the center is really going. So it could even be east-southeast. None of the modelers are able to really determine the exact track, other than to say it's, when you look at it on Loop, it's certainly heading toward Fiji. So that really isn't a question. The exact track is a little bit unknown, but it is going that way. Now, up to now, the shear levels have been fairly low, and that's helping the storm to remain in a pretty good and favorable environment. Now, what I mean by shear levels is that we look at the atmosphere throughout the strength has increased quite dramatically, really. So, if this is actually true, the depression is going to more than likely start to diminish. However, it doesn't mean that Fiji is going to become a flat calm lake. We will still expect heavy rain and strong squally activity there in Fiji in the next few days. So at least the good news is it's not going to develop into a tropical cyclone. The odds of it are very slim. Okay, let's look at the sea conditions for those that are underway and or at Minerva. The main wave height and direction is 3 meters from the southwest for the most part, going to maybe 4 meters on Thursday. But the models are calling it from an easterly direction by Thursday, and that is going to create a bit of a cross sea from the old swell to the new swell, so that's going to make it a bit unpleasant. Now, by Friday, between 25 south and 20 south, that easterly direction tends to prevail, and the sea should drop down to about 3 meters. Now, those are still big enough, but at least the cross sea will diminish, we hope. Now, winds at Minerva, did we get reports? Yes.
Yes.
Looking at my data, 15 knots southeast, that tends to agree with what people are telling us, but probably increasing up to maybe 25 tomorrow, and that will be more or less out of the east. Now, from Minerva to Tonga, the wind direction tends to remain easterly. It's right through Saturday, but it's going to be fairly strong. 25 knots, maybe gusting 30. So those of you that want to make a break, it would be challenging, let's put it that way. Now, EC, the model, ECMWF, is the EC for short, is not letting go of this tropical depression at all. By Saturday, they're putting the center at about 19 and 179 east, that is. 19 and 179 east. This is just southwest of Kandavu. Actually, it's 177, sorry, 177. So this is southwest of Kandavu, and that is going to put the winds at Minerva still from the east about 25 to 30 knots. Now, you didn't want to hear that, I'm sure. Northerlies from Minerva to Fiji could be expected. Didn't want to hear that either. And I mentioned a few minutes ago that I was looking at the microwave satellite, and I did get a very, very good and not a heavy rain warning for the New Potatoes area and the islands surrounding that, so a little bit to the north. For the main group, though, you could expect cloud and showers with easterlies about 15 to 20, but easterly 30 on Wednesday. So if you are in Tonga, make sure that you are in a secure anchorage. The winds look to be still strong right into Wednesday, backing to the northeast on Friday, and then possibly westerlies on Saturday. So we'll see if the models have handled that correctly. But the wind shifts to the west are quite annoying in Tonga. Not so much if you're in the Vavau area, because you can find protection, but in the Hapais, it's a pain. Fiji is, well, they're getting ready for heavy rain and squalls, especially the eastern bits, eastern Vanua-Levu, and that includes Savu-Savu. Fiji Met has issued a heavy rain alert and a strong wind warning as tropical depression, they call it 12F, gets closer and closer. Now, this TD, by the way, is ringed with thunderstorms, so certainly watch out for these wind shifts that we get in the thunderstorms. You've heard me talk about this many, many times. Rotuma at the moment is receiving southeast 30 knots and 4-meter seas. In general, I would say Fiji as a group could expect 25 knots today, and gusts 2 and probably exceeding 30 knots. Tomorrow, southeast 20 to 30, and needless to say, very rough seas in the open waters for Fiji, so we'll have to see where the depression is at that point. And briefly over to Vanuatu, it looks fine on imagery. Winds fresh, southeast 20 to 25 in most of the open water areas, and more of the same tomorrow. In New Caledonia, I'll move along here. They could expect sunny conditions, winds 15 to 20 out in the open lagoon. Some areas gusts to 30. You do have to be brave to do that because we have seen in the past where that bravery has turned to tears. Not to scare you, but suddenly things can change and you'll wish you hadn't have done that. But those that did do it, made it, and good for them. Those of you in Minerva are wondering what they're going to do, I am sure. If you wait around long enough, things will come, right? But you're going to have to like crayfish, that's for sure. So with that, we'll keep looking for you and come on tomorrow to see what has changed. Those that want to try to make your break to various places, all I can say is that there are fresh to snotty winds, and if you're willing to put up with those conditions, then you do it. Otherwise, just enjoy where you are. People really would give their shirt to be where you are. It's quite a magical place, Minerva. So I'm done. Any questions or comments, come now, and here's the boss.
And I have had trouble with streaming. Apologies for those people. I would like to know why, but I have a very, very light. I know somebody is there, but I will need a relay.
Relay?
Thank you, whoever called relay. Go ahead and pick them up and let us know when you've finished. Over.
Right.
North Star are at, hang on, I'll tell you, North Star 29 and 177.
Oh, yeah, wait a minute.
We're just waiting on the North Star relay. Should be able to hear them better than that. from 29. Yes, I copy you, but nothing from Steve. So go ahead. Over. Roger that. 4 days to go 380 miles. That boat should go faster than that, Diego. Did you want to well, I think it will be easier if we just send him an email. Tell North Star that we will send an email. Over. Yes, he wants to know what to do because it's 380 miles to go to.
We don't tell people what to do.
Yeah, I think I heard him say, Diego, that they're going to plug on to Savu slowly. So we have their position now, so we'll be able to keep their reports are coming into Yit on Iridium Go.
I can tell you right now that...
Hang on a minute.
Yeah, North Star, if you can hear us on Saturday, seeing as how you're just sort of plugging along there at 25 south, looking at a run line to where you want to go, the winds are going to be east to east-southeast, 20 to 25 knots, 20 to 25 knots. So not sure where you will be at that point, but that's what it's looking like there. So there's a lot of ifs at the point. This is really for everyone, not just North Star. What looks like is going to happen, and even GFS is starting to pick this up. As time rolls on, as we get toward the weekend and whatnot, we're going to get the polar dip in the isobars sort of on the run line between New Zealand and Fiji. So that's going to cause the winds on the east side of the axis of the dip to come north of east and vice versa on the other side. Now, that is going to create a bit of an issue for those of you that are wanting to get further north, but it's really in the hands of the gods right now because none of the models are really in agreement. We can get fair agreement right up to about 25 south, but then from 25 south up to either Fiji or Tonga, that's where they tend to diverge. So we'll just keep watching this and keep you informed. That's all we can do.
All right, and thanks for that. And by the way, Diego, you're up at Havana. Where we anchored was sort of opposite where the pass is to go north. And it's quite a pleasant spot, especially if you like snorkeling a lot. All the way down, there's some dead bits, but then there's some beautiful live soft coral. Okay, I think there might have been somebody else in behind. Was there another question? Please call. Any relay for another question? No, nothing heard. So we'll leave it there and keep watching the weather. It's certainly not worth watching here. It's just very, very grey. So if there's anything, you know how to get hold of us. GHradio at extra.co.nz. And we find it easy to answer questions during the course of the day, especially when we are losing our voice. All right, folks, the frequency's all yours. We'll be back again tomorrow morning. Hope you enjoy Minerva, those boats that are there, and those boats that are coming. Don't forget to have the lure out. Sounds like you might need a bit of fish to keep you going for a few days, and we will be back again tomorrow. Cheers all.
This damn streaming.